Hey guys, today I want to talk about two key ingredients that you need to completely change your financial life in just 1 year. So whether you're someone who currently, you kind of feel like, you know what, you're just about able to pay for the various expenses in your life, but you still feel like every single month you're earning money, you're paying down some debts, you're paying for expenses, and then you're waiting for paycheck to come round again. Today I want to just walk through, using my board as ever, the two core ingredients you need. And I want to really bring to life what it takes for you to completely change your financial life. If today's video sounds like something that's up your street, do me one favor, hit that subscribe button, just literally just there. You see that button right there. Support us by hitting that subscribe button. And if you're enjoying today's video, hit the like button whilst you are there. Okay? So, as ever, I'm using my board because I believe very strongly that this helps to communicate the most important ideas that help us to gradually change our finances and change our lives more generally. So the two ingredients are, you probably already guessed it. The first one is intention, okay? So by intention, here I'm talking about what are your goals? What do you want out of your life? What are you trying to achieve? What's your focus, right? Now, before we even get to intention, it's very interesting to observe that most people who are struggling in their financial lives or who haven't achieved things that they want to achieve in their financial lives at this stage of life actually have no intention at all. So they don't have any goals. So intention is actually not even in their Venn diagram at all. However, to move forward and begin that journey of changing your finances, get to that place where you've built up some savings, you're maybe getting out of debt, you're maybe starting to invest, you're maybe starting to boost your investments, you're even starting a business potentially. Intention is the very first thing we need to set. Now, beyond intention, you become someone who's actually quite rare. Because beyond intention, we need another very important ingredient. Have you guessed it already? Spend a moment just thinking about what that could be whilst I write it down, right? Because this one ingredient I'm about to write down now is the thing that separates person A from person B. And that key ingredient is sacrifice, okay? Sacrifice is literally what makes, when you look at two people who might be earning exactly the same amount of money in income, the same amount of money hits their bank account, the one thing that separates those two people in terms of how much they've built up in savings or investments or how diligent they've been with their finances is the degree, get this, the degree to which their intentions are able to match their sacrifice. Nobody likes the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is not fun. Sacrifice is not buzzy. You wouldn't see this word. Wherever you see this word, people are like, nah, I don't want to give up anything. I don't want to sacrifice anything. I want everything all at the same time. You want the holidays. You want to get on the property ladder. You want to buy takeaways whenever you want it. Yeah? You want to go out with friends whenever you want it. You want to do all those things, and yet you still want to invest. That ain't going to happen. You want to do all those things, and you still want to get on the property ladder. That ain't going to happen. So if you want to get to that place, and I'll be making this really in a minute with some real life examples where you want to be that person who sees a change in your financial life in a whole year, in 365 days, what you need are the two ingredients of the intention you set, very clear intentions, very clear goals, and the sacrifice that you're willing to make. And that sweet spot right there, where those two meet, is where your financial life begins to change. So let me bring this to life with a practical example. Because sometimes when you talk about these things, you know, it's easy for it to just sound like theory, right? So let's say that you're somebody, so I'm going to just draw this as I try and do this live as I do it. Let's say that you're someone who you take home, hopefully you can see this, you take home, let's say, after tax, you take home £3,000. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. You take home 3K, yeah? Just to show you how the impact that sacrifice actually makes, yeah? Let's say that you have certain options. Option A is that you save and invest nothing. Yeah? And of course, if you save and invest nothing, nothing happens. Let's say you move beyond that. Let's say you have three options. You've got 10%, you've got 20%, and you've got 50%. Right? Now, let me grab a different color just to keep it nice and engaging in a way for us, right? £3,000 over 12 months. Imagine everything hit your bank account and you kept it all. You would have £36,000. If that happened, that would be incredible. But let's say, and this is where sacrifice comes into the picture, let's say that you went from, you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck, you somehow worked on your habits, you worked on those intentions, you were diligent about making sure that you are leveling up from a habit perspective, and you are somehow managing to save 10%. 10% of £3,000 is £300. That's meant to be the pound sign, sorry. That doesn't look that great. £300. 20%. Imagine that you pushed yourself. You made some drastic changes. If you're in a relationship, you had a chat with your partner, you're like, babe, we need to level up. We need to fix up. We need to stop using that app and ordering. You know, you're not knocking it, by the way. Your Just Eat, your Uber Eats, whatever you want, right? Let's say you make 20% your target. Yeah, and by the way, those are just random examples, but you can make the changes wherever you want, right? That will be your £600 a month. Wow. And, you know, to the people who are really, really taking this seriously and went for 50%, the level of sacrifices is matching their level of intentions. They are saving £1,500 or dollars or euros or whatever, wherever you are in the world. Okay, now this is where I find it really interesting is, you know, we don't often visualize what this could look like and what it could mean for our lives more generally, yeah? So let's say we went over a year, yeah? And we're like, okay, what does this look like over 12 months? This becomes £3,600, yeah? Very significant, very significant. Let's repeat the same thing here. Here we got £7,200. Imagine that in your bank account building up. For someone who doesn't have any savings, that's very, very, very significant. Okay? Imagine that. Think about it. And then over time, imagine you were that person who was then saving and investing 50%. So basically half of that number, half of 36,000, in a year, you've managed to put away £18,000. Now, this is where I think it gets very interesting, because I'm trying to make this real, because what could these numbers mean to us? 18 grand could mean a 5% deposit on a house. The average house in the UK, I think it's about £285,000, thereabouts. So 10% of that is 28,500, of which 5%, you've actually got more than that if you are that person earning 3K. So this could be your home, right? House. 7,200. What could that mean? That could mean that your investment portfolio, you're actually investing into your stocks and shares, into your ISA, for example. Very significant. £3,600 a year could be that you're starting a business, which will help you to create even more income. Now, the reason I've done this exercise is because I just want us to start to really visualize what a life of sacrifice how a life of sacrifice could actually lead to transforming our lives over time. How could it actually make a tangible difference in our lives? Now, I want to take it a step further. Again, just being really practical, because I really want us to see how, why this matters, yeah? You know, again, going back to pure basics. But have you ever considered, and this really sunk in with me when I read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And in that book, the recommendation in that book is for you to put aside 10%, 1 in 10 of every pound or dollar that you make. But what really, the language they used that really made me think, wow, was when they did this. 10%, if you put aside 10% of everything you make that hits your bank account, how long would it take for you to have 100% of all your income? Imagine you're making £36,000 a year in net income. It will take you 10 years, right? 10 years is how long it will take. Because it's 10 times 10 will give us 100%. You're like, wow, 10%, and in 10 years, I will have made 100% of everything I save, I earn. 20% put aside would take us, come on, you guys have guessed it, 5 years is how long it will take to create 100% of your net income. And of course, 50% savings rate will take us just 2 years to create 100% of your net income in savings. So this is where this idea of to what extent does the level of your sacrifice actually match the level of your intention actually come in. I have just made this video because I really want to almost drum home the fact that if you're someone who is currently struggling right now with your finances, firstly, I want to encourage you to say that that place you're in is a place you can come out of gradually. I had somebody leave me a voice note actually 2 nights ago. And for the first time, and it's a friend of mine, I've not seen them describe their lives with the word broke in more than a decade. Yeah. So hearing that come across from somebody who I know, who I like, who I trust, who I love, hearing them use that word broke to describe their personal circumstances really, really hit for me. And it got me thinking, like, there must be so many people who are using that word to describe their current personal circumstances. And if you're in that place right now, my word of encouragement to you is that you can gradually come out of it. But it will require a year of sacrifice. Giving up certain things, making certain hard decisions for 12 months or 365 days. Pick today that you're watching this video. Add another 365 days to it as your year of sacrifice. Choose the percentage you're going to work with and work your way upwards when it comes to that saving and putting away. And if you have a partner, have a discussion with them. Pause the video when I showed that screenshot, that drawing on the thing that showed the 2 core ingredients, and begin that conversation with your partner. And I believe very strongly that if you make it a goal of yours to subscribe to sacrifice as something that will help you, you need that trade-off to happen in life. If you are able to see sacrifices, do you know what? It's not going to be fun, but it's actually on my side and trying to help me change my life. If you can see that you need that ingredient in your life, I believe very strongly that the next year, the next 12 months will be a complete and utter game changer for your life. Every single person can sacrifice one aspect of their lives in order to achieve another outcome. So one thing I want to hear from you guys as a way to wrap up this video is to ask you, what one area of your life will you sacrifice? What one area of expense will you sacrifice in order to boost that amount you're saving and investing every single month? Jump in the comments and post that area to us. Let us know in the comments what changes you're going to be making. Just one area as a way to get this conversation going. If you really enjoyed this video, again, as you can see, I'm trying to keep it really organic, trying to keep it really fresh, trying to keep it really real for these things to make sense. And I don't just come up with these video ideas from nowhere. They come up from an experience, an interaction, speaking to somebody, reading your comments, hearing where you guys are, looking at your DMs. Yeah. I really hope this video is hit for you. And if it's hit for you, and if you've taken away that idea that sacrifice is good for me. If you can embrace that idea, I believe you're going to have a radically different financial life in the next 1 year. If you really enjoyed this video, please, like I say, just right there where that button is, please hit that subscribe button. As soon as you hit it, that button disappears because it shows you've subscribed, and you get notified when our videos get published every single week. But beyond that, thank you guys so much on behalf of Mary and I for watching today's video. And as always, in all things, be thankful and seek joy. Take care. Much love and bye for now.